Nobody tells you when the definition was handed to you. It just appeared. In the shows you watched, the people you were told to admire, the conversations around the dinner table. Success is money. Success is status. Success is a life that looks good to other people. And for a while, it works. You chase it. You measure yourself against it. You either feel behind or briefly ahead. But then something strange happens. You watch someone who has everything, and there is no peace in their eyes. You reach something you wanted, and the feeling lasts maybe a week. And quietly a question forms, not in your mind, but somewhere deeper. Is this it? Because no one who has ever truly felt empty at the top of their life believed they were wrong to ask that question. And this is exactly where the Quran steps in, not with a lecture, not with a list of rules, but with a word, Al-Muflihoon, the truly successful. Not successful for a moment, not successful in someone else's eyes, successful completely, lastingly, meaningfully. And then, remarkably, it shows you who they are. To understand this word, you have to go deeper than translation. Because in Arabic, words are not invented. They grow from roots, and those roots carry images, history, truth. The root of Al-Muflihoon is falah. And here is what surprises most people when they first hear it. This root has nothing to do with achievement. It has nothing to do with wealth or recognition. It means to split the soil, to break open the earth, to prepare ground for something to grow. It is the work of a farmer. Picture an empty field, dry, silent, bare, no sign of life anywhere. A man walks into it and begins to dig. If you were watching from far away, you might think, why is he working so hard? There's nothing here. But the farmer sees something you don't. He sees what could be here. So he plants a seed, presses it into the ground, and walks away. A day passes, nothing. A week passes, nothing. From the outside, it looks like failure, like wasted effort, like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, everything is happening. The seed is cracking open. Roots are reaching down. Something is becoming real in the dark, in the silence, where no one can see it. This is the image the Quran uses for success. Think about that for a moment. Real success is not instant. It doesn't announce itself early. It doesn't trend. It looks like getting up when it's hard, choosing better when it's uncomfortable, doing the right thing when doing the wrong thing would be so much easier. Small decisions, repeated daily, with no applause. And just like the farmer, you cannot rush it. You cannot force the seed to grow faster. You cannot demand results before their time. You have to trust the soil. You have to keep showing up. Now ask yourself honestly, how many things have you abandoned because they felt too slow? How many habits have you dropped because the change wasn't visible fast enough? Falah is teaching you something deeply human. Real growth is hidden before it is visible. Your patience is growing. Your character is growing. Your relationship with God is growing, even if you don't see it yet. And then, one day, the ground breaks open. A small sign appears, proof that something was happening all along. That is falah. Not just reaching a goal, but becoming someone who had the patience to reach it. So who are these people? The Quran doesn't describe them with titles. It doesn't mention their wealth, their followers, or their reputation. It begins with this: قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. The believers have already succeeded. Not will succeed, have succeeded. as if the direction they're walking in has already secured the destination. And then it paints a portrait. They are people who, when they stand in prayer, are actually there, not physically present while mentally somewhere else, present, aware, connected. And even if you're not there yet with prayer, hear the deeper principle. They give their full attention to what actually matters. They are people who have learned to turn away from noise. Not everything loud deserves your time. Not everything entertaining is worth your life. They can say no to what is empty. They are people who give, not because they have excess, but because they understand that what they hold is a trust, so they pass it on. Time, support, presence, care. They are people who guard their integrity, their words, their relationships, their commitments. They don't let every impulse become an action. They don't let convenience replace principle. And here is the most important thing. The Quran is not describing perfect people. It's describing real people. People who fall, people who struggle, people who miss the mark and come back. Again and again. Because consistency in returning is itself a form of success. Then, after this entire portrait, the Quran closes. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. They, and only they, are the truly successful. Not the most followed, not the most decorated, not the ones with the loudest voice. The ones who built something real, inside themselves. And now, everything shifts. Because once you understand this, success is no longer a destination you're racing toward. It becomes the way you live every single day. And what's remarkable about this framework is this. It is not exclusive. It does not belong to one culture, one background, one type of person. It is open to anyone who chooses. Honesty, when a shortcut is available. Patience, when impulse is louder. Depth, when distraction is easier. Growth, when comfort is calling. And this is where the deepest shift happens. You begin to understand. You can collect everything the world offers and still not have succeeded. Because real success is not measured by what you accumulate. It is measured by who you are becoming. A person who masters themselves is stronger than a person who commands thousands. A person who tells the truth when lying would benefit them has already won something most people will never have. And that is why, 5 times a day, a voice rises across the world and calls,
حي على الفلاح.
Come to success. Not when you're ready, not when you've fixed yourself, not after. Now. With the choices in front of you today. Because every day you are planting something. In your habits, in your character, in the kind of person you are quietly, slowly becoming. The farmer doesn't panic because today's field looks empty. He plants, he tends, he trusts. And one day, the ground breaks open. So the question is not whether you will succeed. The question is, what are you growing? Because in the end, when the noise fades, when every title and number disappears, only one thing will remain. Al-Muflihoon. Were you among them?